here's the basic design that I went with. It's a whole lot easier to cut straight lines than it is curved lines, so I just went with a straight rail to retain the rounds, and as you just saw in the video at the start of this, there's no problem with that. It doesn't need to be curved. The pushing block that I designed has a lip which tucks in here right up against the round, the bottom of the round, and therefore the pressure is exerted at this point. You can even see the wear pattern on it, where this is where it's picking up the wear, and push it across, go straight into the magazine. Don't need to have some elaborate retention area for the magazine here, as you saw as I demonstrated. This is not even bolted down. My push block here, the magazine here, and off I go, and it pushes the rounds into the magazine rather effortlessly. How did I make this? Let's just look at a few things. So I chiseled out a little recess here for the magazine to be able to sit in, to be level, so that as the rounds feed in, it's going in without any obstacles. So that was just maybe a 3/16 of an inch retention. The magazine presses up against the end of these frame rails here. And the design that I went with was a square notch back here. Try to get around in so you can kind of see. Square notch to hold the base of the round, and then the tip is in a little V-shaped notch. Since I didn't go with a curved design, I wanted to try to retain the tip of that bullet as much as possible so that it wasn't wobbling around or getting out of alignment, possibly causing jams. That was my thought. In reality, I don't know that it would have made a difference. I probably could have gone square on both sides. I did a little retention, or I should say recess back here, because to fit this in, I had two choices. I could either have slid it in, but it just seemed easier to be able to lip it and go in like that. But I have another idea, which is I may eventually put some sort of tray on this side so I can dump a handful of rounds here and just kind of spin them and slide them in as I go along. And then obviously I press it across, comes right out either end. These were simply just screwed on. You can see it's truly a scrap. It's got a saw cut, nothing real fancy to it. Took a little paraffin wax, put it on it to make it a little more slippery. Don't know that I needed to do that, but certainly didn't create any problem. My pusher block has two screws holding it together. On this one I did apply some glue just to make sure there were no future problems. Shape of that actually started off as a Glock 19 handle, but I had to do some curvatures to be able to attach it to the base here, so it got a little wide. Nonetheless, it's real comfortable. It's good grip, much like if you were operating a block plane, a large block plane, the way that they have a handle. That's it. That's the design.